What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Last Friday, my brand had a capsule drop. The store is now open, and I think the website looks really good, and it's filled with awesome content. That's what we're going to focus on in this video today, specifically the content, how I did the shoot, how I put the team together, the location of where I did the shoot, how I set up my Instagram grid, how I set up my product page layout, and more. I'm going to break down the brand deck as well. This whole process starts with me putting together a really cohesive brand deck that I then send to a producer and casting director who's also an art director. His name is Dakota. I'm going to talk about him and Max, the photographer, and all these other people in a second. We'll get there. As you can see, I have a Figma board here that I will break down. If you want to access this Figma board as well as all my other resources, where I break down all the topics from my YouTube channel in much more depth. There are 362 members in here now, so it's growing very quickly. Come and join the party. Again, it's free, link in the description. Okay, so I figured first I would break down the website, and then I'll break down the Instagram page. As you can see, I have a very specific Instagram page layout here. And then I can also break down my personal page as well. I have a very specifically curated personal Instagram page that is directly tied to the brand page. So here, the first thing we see on the homepage of the brand's website is this hero banner. This is Booba wearing the framework denim jacket and Balenciaga sunglasses. I have a headline in the center, ships free in the US. I have my scrolling banner here at the top, and then a very simple navigation. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of the website layout. This is not a Shopify e-commerce video. This is more of a content video, but if you want to see more about my Shopify and you want to see me open up the Shopify backend and get into conversion rate optimization, leave a comment. As we scroll down the page, we then see a widescreen horizontal e-com video, and it features BTS clips with some moody color grading from the day of the photo shoot. Then as we keep scrolling, here are the 4 products in the drop. I'm calling this P2 Drop 1. So P2 is the collection, and Drop 1 contains these 3 products. As these 3 products start to sell, I'll then do some rollout for this 4th product, and this will be like the lead single in Drop 2, which is like EP2. I'll probably do 3 more pieces with that, and maybe I'll do a Drop 3, and then that will conclude the P2 collection. That should take me to about Christmas, and I'll wrap it up, and then it'll be 2026. I'll make a video about that too. I have a ton of content to make. I'll add that to my to-do list. Well, let's keep scrolling down the page. I won't click on these yet, but I'll go into the product pages in a second. Here we have the featured in GQ hero banner at the bottom. And if I click through here, I can scroll through some really beautiful editorial photos shot by Max Durante of Booba, who was a model, a stylist, and a brand owner himself. This is one of my favorite shots, and I love how the embroidery is in the light here. And then we keep scrolling, and here's a horizontal video of the Clo 3D design process. This was sent to me by the atelier that I work with. Helps me design all of my garments using Clo 3D. I made a whole video about that. Be sure to watch that later. Don't watch it now, but watch it later. And then I kind of tie it all up with a bow here, that just talking a little bit about myself, actually. And I mentioned that this is a brand by me. I live and design these clothes in Los Angeles, but I do the photo and the video in New York with my people, who I will talk about a little bit more later in this video. So now let's go check out one of these product pages. Here I have this flat lay image with a nice gray gradient background. I'll show you how I made this later. We just take a photo of the garment from top down. It's just laying flat on the ground, and the photographer is looking over it with the camera against a white background. Then I Photoshop it out of the white background and put it against this nice custom gradient, which I think adds a little bit of art direction and vibe. Every brand does a white backdrop or a paper backdrop for their product photos, for their flat lay photos. So me included, I did that for my last collection. All of the product photos were just against a white background. I didn't Photoshop the background that much or at all. A little bit of a different approach this time. Immediately next to that is a photo of the model wearing the garment. As we scroll, we have these nice portrait e-commerce photos, full body, and then some details with some nice lighting, and then more detailed photos. Then a nice little e-com video that loops, and this is just BTS of the shoot. BTS of a shoot is extremely easy to capture. We had someone just walking around all day with an iPhone capturing everything, which made it really easy to edit together these little e-com videos. They look great on the website, in my opinion. Then after that, we have the style with photos, which is just some e-com photos of other products, and the hero editorial style image banner that we can scroll through. Again, just like the homepage. And the photos of me. Now let's click on to another one of these products. As you can see, it's extremely consistent. I have the product with this nice gray gradient. Immediately next to that, the model wearing the garment, and then more of these nice e-com style photos, close-up product photos, close-up on model detail photo, and then another little video for this product as well. This shows a little bit more of that BTS. It shows a clip of Max over the shirt with the camera. You'll see it in a second. He's just standing over the shirt and snapping a picture, and then in post-production, we'll clean it up and level out the lighting and make sure everything with the shirt is even and consistent and smooth. And then we remove the background and then add this nice little custom gradient. And then the last piece in this drop is the Uber trousers. So same thing again. We have that flat lay image, this hero ecom image, and then more photos of Booba wearing the pants and another ecom video specific to the pants. I made all these little ecom videos in CapCut using the BTS footage from an iPhone. Super simple, but really good to have. And I think it's a missed opportunity for a lot of brands that don't have this style of ecom video on their page because it's just so easy and convenient to shoot. And then on the About page, I have this hero banner image of me with a hero headline, Pathos of Things is a brand by Chris Drago. This is me. And then there's this blurb here. You can read it if you're curious. I will leave the link to my brand page in the description, as always. Feel free to check it out. I don't hide anything. The site is open. Feel free to comment, critique, whatever. I'm not saying that the way I set up my website is perfect, but it works for me. Every day I learn something new about conversion rate optimization and customer psychology, and I tweak little things with my website. One day it'll be as good as Represent and those other brands. But before I have a $100,000 website, I'm going to have a $1,000 website with a little bit of custom stuff based off of a template. So I'll show you that template. Here it is. It's $360. It looks really good out of the box, but it can be designed however you want. Kesha's merch website uses it. Anyway, that's the website. I'll go over the layout one more time in a few moments, and I'll really pick apart the content for the website in more detail. But really quick, I want to show you the Instagram. This is a new Instagram page. I'm basically starting from scratch with this page, and we're growing slowly but surely. It's at about 1,000 followers now. Across the top, I have the main campaign video. I have a founder style video explaining my process and showing my face, and this hero editorial style image of me. I posted on my birthday and then tagged everyone involved, and these were shot by Max on the same day as the rest of the Pathos photos. I have the products laid out in this very specific order. So from left to right, I have the product image carousel, and this has a process video showing the Glow 3D design process. There's a BTS video of setting up the flat lay and some product detail shots that just look really nice. Adjacent to that is a nice e-commerce image of the garment. Here's a nice e-commerce carousel of the specific garment, the denim jacket. As you scroll through, it's just like how you would see it in order on the website, on the product page. And then to the right of that is an editorial style carousel. So editorial style images are photos that look like they could be a glossy image in a magazine. At least that's how I personally define it. So here's Booba with some nice art direction and editing. And then here's a little BTS style video of one of these images that's actually in the carousel. This is the photo as it comes up, one of the proofs on this monitor here. And then that image is this image here. So that's a cool way to tie it all in with that BTS video. As you scroll down the page, it's the same format, but for other products. We have the dress shirt, the flat light image against the gradient, the nice e-com image showcasing the product on the model, and then an editorial style carousel. So I did that for all 4 products in this drop, but I'm actually teasing these jeans. I put them up on Instagram. I'll show you how I set this up and I made this happen. There's a specific way that you need to post these images, and when you're dealing with a lot of images and carousels, it gets overwhelming very quickly. I lay everything out in Figma first, and then I upload it directly. I dump all of these up at once in order based on my outline and the way it's laid out in Figma, which is here. I'll show you that. But before all this content was made, it needed to be planned. The planning stage is really important and often overlooked, where people don't plan enough, or I see a lot of people overplan and never end up releasing anything. There's definitely a balance. I'll show you how I balance it for my own project. I have a deck with a bunch of details about the aesthetic, the art direction, colors, and my design system. And then this lays the foundation for the rest of the shoot. And I give this to the producer as the casting director and also helps me with the art direction. So it's really important that he is on the same page as me. His name is Dakota. It's really important that he's on the same page as me with this, so then that way he can give me suggestions for photographers that fit my aesthetic or models that fit the aesthetic I'm going for. So he's not just guessing, right? So I have my own deck and I have the template deck here. If you want to look at the template deck or download it for yourself, be sure to grab it in the Skool community. But for this video, I'm just going to break down my deck. So here's the deck in my Figma. First page has the emblem. Second page has the big idea. It's a brand by me. My mission is to make sustainable designer garments for those who create culture, not just consume it. I'm going after young creative professionals like myself. People that make music, have their own brands, design, whether graphic design or clothes. People that make film. Those are the people I want wearing my clothes. They're my peers. I am also the customer archetype for my brand. Everything I design, I wear, and I usually will wear it and test it first before I release it to market. Next, I have a phrase that I'm inspired by, Mono no Aware, translated to the pathos of things, where I get the name of the brand from. I have a little brand story here. Then the next slide has the logo in black and white, the emblem in black and white. So I have a logo and I have an emblem. The typography, Helvetica for headlines, Arial for body and utility, both sans serif fonts, so I don't use any serif style fonts. Next is the color palette, white, gray, black, light blue, and navy blue. Next I have the 3D renders. This is a mock-up of how the jacket will look. Here's the set of 3D renders for the jacket, the pants, and the dress shirt. Those 3 products are the 3 products that I shot, and they're the 3 I included in the deck. Next slide, I have e-com photo inspiration for all the product pages. So this is how I wanted the model to stand and pose, and this is how I wanted the flat lay photo to look. As you'll see, the e-com photos look pretty much exactly like this. I think they're on par as far as the aesthetic and lighting and sizing with these Prada photos. I'm not saying that my brand is anywhere near Prada, but just in terms of getting my e-commerce photos looking really professional, I think I did a pretty good job. Booba is a great model. And this looks very close to these Prada references. Next, I put 2 editorial photo inspiration slides. We didn't end up using these black and white styles. I still want to do the chiaroscuro style noir lighting with black and white. Instead, we focused on this moody gradient, black background, sunglasses, light reflecting off the model's face. So we pulled heavily from this slide for a lot of the images. This e-commerce style image with this gradient is really similar to this e-commerce style photo with this gradient. So I had a specific vision in mind and it ended up in this deck, and that really helped shape where the whole team went with the art direction for the project. Then I listed some runway inspo. I'm not doing a runway show for this collection, but I included this in here anyway. Then lifestyle and vibe, so nighttime, modern city, sunglasses inside at night, and mysterious. I didn't shoot anything outside, as you'll see, but for the next drop, I'll probably do more outside images. I don't want it to all just feel like it was shot indoors. And then another lifestyle slide, pretty girls and penthouses, very The Weeknd Exo kind of vibe. I wanted to channel that. So that is this whole deck. If you want to grab this template, it's here in the classroom of the school. Specifically, if you go to this classroom tab and then press branding, style, and positioning, it's right here, my exact brand style guide revealed. You just press this resources button, style guide template download, and then it's all yours. Once this deck is done, I send it to this guy, Dakota Griffin. This guy is the reason all my shit happens, for real. He received this deck and then said, hey, let me put together a team. And he gave me a list of photographers, models, makeup artists, and stylists. We decided he and I would just style the model to save some money. He gave me 3 or 4 different photographers that he knew personally. Max Durante was one of them, and I really like his style. He and I have a ton of mutual friends on my personal page. So I said, let's hire Max. Max shoots at the 9 studios in Brooklyn. Once Max was booked and the location was booked, I had to hire a model. Dakota gave me a couple of his friends as options, and I thought Booba fit the aesthetic and the vibe. So I said, let's hire Booba. And then I don't know anything about hair and makeup, so I trusted Dakota's judgment on this. He can hire whoever he wants. Bree was around and she nailed it. The hair and makeup for the day looked so good. It was so on point. Everything fit like a puzzle, bro. It just went perfectly. Dakota also brought a personal assistant. His name is Paul Kim, and he helped out with steaming the clothes and making sure everything ran smooth, and grabbed the DoorDash for lunch, stuff like that. All right, so now the foundations are established, the location is established, and the team is put together. So the next step was determining the content pillars. These are the content pillars that I have decided work for me in my brand. Breaking my content into these 4 pillars has given me serious clarity about what to shoot and what to post on my pages. It's kind of like my roadmap or my North Star. And without this, I was completely lost and just winging it. I'm not including influencer or user-generated content because I'm really just focusing on the content that we shot in this specific shoot day at the 9 studios with this specific team. I'll make another video about influencers and UGC style content later on. The 4 pillars that I focus on are e-commerce style content, which looks like this. It's just the model against a white cyclorama. We edited it to look more like a gray cyclorama, but really this is just, you know, the model in the clothes, camera square with the model against a white background. Then we have the flat lay and the casual BTS iPhone style videos. So this is what I consider e-commerce style content. I'll play this little video. This is what I already showed you on the product page. At the end of every product page, I have these little videos, which is just BTS of the shoot day. Okay, next we have editorial style content. I define editorial style content for my own brand as an image that could look like a glossy picture in a luxury magazine. You know, slap a Dazed logo on this. I could see that working for a publication like Dazed. That would be the dream. And then I have these little videos, which I'm calling just little editorial stills, collages that I turned into videos. So let's check that out here. Very simple, 13 seconds. It's just like montage of images or editorial style images from the photo shoot. There's another editorial style video that I uploaded on the main page and on my personal page, and let's watch that together. This is what I would consider an editorial style video, but it combines e-commerce style images and video, behind the scenes video, and some B-roll. And it features music that I made, which makes it a little special and specific to me, in my opinion. If I had more of a budget or maybe a little bit more time, I would have done what I did for P1. I did a video like this. It's widescreen. It's this beautifully shot, color graded, directed, editorial style video. So I decided not to go with one of these for this drop. I'm waiting until probably drop 3 of this collection that I'm calling P2, and then I'll do a main editorial video for all 3 drops, just like a big collection video. But each individual capsule is going to have an editorial style video like this that's mostly a montage of clips. Edited that, I made the music. Photos were shot by Max Durante. It's just a cool way to repurpose all this content, you know, not just to post the photos, but also turn them into reels and videos. I also did this little moment versus the shot style thing with some music, and it's just synced up to the music. I'll show you here. Yeah, okay, next I have lifestyle. That's the 3rd pillar of my content strategy. So we watch these together. I have little montages of me wearing my clothes, like this bag I designed. This was a Scotch and soda shirt that I used as a reference for this shirt, which I ended up releasing. So here, we can watch that really quick. Let's watch that one really quick. Okay, yeah, so that is a lifestyle video. Then I also include these little Clo 3D time-lapse videos featuring music that I made as well. So this is what I would also consider a lifestyle video. It's also more of a BTS video. In the future, I'd probably do more vignette style outdoors content featuring the models more, but this is what I'm rocking with for now. I'll definitely do that more for drop 2 in P2. Which will probably be in a couple months. Here, let's watch that. And then the 4th and final pillar is founder style content. So this YouTube video is a founder style piece of content. Here's one of my thumbnails. And as you could see, this image of me in this thumbnail is from this photo shoot that we did, where we also shot all the e-com and editorial style. All of that was done in one day. I only did one shoot to save time and money. It's all tied together. I also modeled the clothes. I think there's nothing more authentic than a founder, designer, and creative director modeling the clothes they designed. For this campaign, I creative directed the shoot, I modeled these clothes, and I designed these clothes. So turn me up, bro. Fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going hard on this. Anyway, I'll show you more of those. I made this deck, and Dakota helped me build this team. We defined these content pillars. So now we knew exactly what we needed to shoot, and then we shot it. Here is all the content for my website laid out. Here's every image sized and formatted properly for the Umber trousers. We have a flat lay, 1 on model, 2 on model from the front. hero image of Booba, pants from the front, pants from the back, pants from the side, close-up detail from the front, close-up detail from the back. I have these extra little nice editorial style images. Next, for the framework denim jacket, flat lay image, hero image of Booba, model from the front, model from the back, model from the side, close-up detail image 1, close-up detail image 2 from the back, close-up detail image 3. And then I have here this flat lay zoom in detail shot, which gets a really high quality look at or high definition look at this tag here, as well as the viscose lining that's nice and comfy along the back panel and shoulders. A nice close-up shot of the tight embroidery, the custom buttons, pockets, long stitching, and gives you a really nice look at the quality of this denim fabric. Then for the white noise shirt, same format, flat lay image against the gray gradient, hero image, model from the front, model from the back, model from the side, detail product shot 2. I actually also included a detailed product shot, then close-up detail shot of the tag, the collar and buttons, and then the wrist pleats and buttons on the pleats. And like I showed you before, at the bottom of each e-commerce page or product page is this nice little BTS video. Just shot on iPhone, very light color grading to make it look a little moodier and cohesive with the rest of the images, but very simple, and again, shot on iPhone, easy. Missed opportunity for brands that don't do this. Here is the hero image of Booba that is the main banner on the homepage of my website. Here is the gradient image that I used as the gradient background for all of the product images. It's literally just this, and then I resized it. And then here is the hero image of me for the about page on the website, as you can see. All right, now let's go over the Instagram feed, because this is something I actually spent a lot of time on, and I'm really proud of how this is curated and how this looks. So I'm just going to give you my exact thought, and then we're going to peel out of here because this video is starting to get long. So the way this works is I planned how the grid was going to look before I posted anything, and I did that here actually in this design file. So where we're looking here is like a Fig Jam board where I get to doodle on it with the marker and add little comments wherever I want. The real juice is in this Figma design file. It looks very similar, but if you're unfamiliar with Figma, it's actually pretty different. This is very much like Photoshop or Illustrator, where I have all these layers. I have a layer panel, and this allows me to format all these images by the exact pixels that I need and the exact dimensions for proper Shopify formatting. If the images are too big, like if the pixel size is too big, it'll slow down your website. I make sure that everything is like really formatted and tight in Figma first, and that's how I get a very clean and formatted website that is fast. The images do not take long to load, but they still look really high quality. As you can see here, this is a screenshot from my Instagram. I pieced together these little squares. I can move these around. That's like puzzle pieces. That's how I planned this. I recommend making a design file like this in Figma and moving these puzzle pieces around so you can curate your board with all your content after you shoot it, but before you post it. Long story short, I made this grid based on how I wanted the layout to be. I know I wanted in this left column. I know in the columns I wanted a specific category. So this left column is the product photos and the main campaign video. The middle column is all e-commerce photos, and then the main video at the top is me talking and showing my process. The right column is all editorial style photos, so that glossy luxury magazine style look. Each of these is a carousel. So I broke that down, and I'll show you how it works. In order to get the grid to look like this, you actually have to post each image backwards. So this one is number 1. I could use the pencil here too. This one is number 1, carousel 1. This one is number 2. This one is number 3. This one is number 4. This one is number 5. So it's from bottom to top and right to left, which is really confusing for most people because we read left to right, top to bottom. What I had to do to make it really easy to understand is I built it out in order from left to right, top to bottom, and then posted them in this order. But the very bottom of the feed is the first carousel, and in that carousel I have these 4 images and a video. I have these art directed images that look kind of ethereal and like there's movement going on, or wind that's blowing his hair, but he's also suspended and floating in space. It seems like he's in this liminal space. Cool art direction in my opinion. And then some garment photo shots. So let's check out that carousel on let's go back to the Instagram. We'll scroll to the bottom of the page. Here is the carousel of those photos. And then here's that BTS style video at the very end. So boom, image 1, image 2, image 3, image 4, video. For the next carousel, remember from bottom to top, right to left, it follows the exact same format, so it's very consistent. After that is the main product image for this left column, and then a video and more product detail photos. Let's check that one out. So here we have just very simple caption, P2 drop 1 out now, product image 1, Clo 3D process video, and then product detail image. At the end, there's a BTS video of me, Dakota on the right, and Max Durante with the camera taking a photo of the jeans from top down. Next carousel, another editorial style carousel where I have these editorial style images and then a video. Let's look at the video in this one. I forget. Okay, it's another BTS style iPhone video. I think I took this one. A couple people took a bunch of BTS iPhone videos and then dumped them in a Google Drive, but I took this one. Then e-commerce style carousel for that next garment, which is these trousers. Flatlight garment photo carousel. I just followed that same format for each of these. It ended up looking like this. After I posted all these in order from top to bottom, left to right, it looks like this grid, and it's very clean and curated in my opinion. You might disagree, but I think it looks good. We spent a lot of time planning this and it was worth it. I will leave this Figma document in the Skool, so join the Skool, join the party. We're 363 members. The next step for this content is marketing it, making more organic content, following up on the rollout of the drop content, adding ads into the mix. So I'll be making videos about that, especially the ad stuff in the future. Like and subscribe if you want to see that. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover in a future video, please leave a comment. I'm happy to discuss, and I will see you in the next one.